Mafia Magazine Radio.
Peace. What's happening?
G Ali, baby. What's good, man? How you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
Hold on for.
I'm here. Happy to be here.
No doubt, baby. Hold on for a second. Let me set you up real quick, all right? For all my listeners out there, man, I get the opportunity tonight to sit down with one of the great ones. Yo, this cat right here is one of the originators, man, of some sound and substance, man, that we just don't hear no more in the rap game. And we're going to sit down with this cat, and he goes by the name of G Ali. And he going to let us know, man, how things is going on his side of town since he been home. So, G, baby, man, how they treating you, man?
They treat me good. I want to thank y'all for having me and say, big shouts to C-Dabs for, putting this whole thing together, allowing me to be here.
Yeah.
But I can't complain. I'm free. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. I'm alive and breathing, home with the family. Cool. Everything is lovely, brother.
No doubt, man. Let me just say, man, what everybody else say, man. Congratulations on you being home, man. And we look for a lot of big things from you. You know what I mean? And stuff,
Absolutely.
So yeah, no doubt, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no question, man. So let's kind of, we're gonna keep it to the music thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's kind of start off, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you first came out doing your thing at 14, man, how did that all come about? You know what I
mean? It came about through Queen Latifah. She used to stay in the neighborhood I lived in, and coming up, all the rappers a lot of the rappers at least used to, come chill out with her and the Safari Sisters and Moni Love and MC Light. Everybody used to be over there. So I was a young kid into the videos and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And I was definitely attracted to the rappers, to the nice cars and just the allure of the music scene.
Right.
And it just so happened they all took me in with open arms, and that's how my career really blossomed, all through the Queen.
Yeah.
Shout to Latifah and Shakim over at Flavor Unit too.
Mm-hmm.
And from that I ended up stemming a relationship with Baby Chris Lighty, rest in peace, who at the time was road managing the Jungle Brothers and spearheading his Violator movement, and he ended up signing me to a deal.
Right.
And
right.
That's the rest is all history.
Yeah, no doubt. Cause that was a big thing back then to be, the age that you was at 14. You know what I'm saying? And for those that wasn't around in that era, they have no idea what it took. You know what I'm saying? For you to kind of do the things that you was doing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was definitely a fun time for me, and it was still where hip hop was. I'd say it was like the second generation of hip hop, because it was after Melly Mel and the Furious Five and the Run DMC and Fat Boy era.
Right.
However, it was our golden years as far as hip hop is concerned. If you ask me,
yeah,
it was the Backpack era, where it was a lot of love out there. And, everything was everything, and I was blessed to be one of the first young rappers. It was like myself, the youngsters, and Chris Cross.
Yeah.
I believe who were basically the young kids doing it, but with the youngsters and Chris Cross being the group, I was the only really young solo artist. So I think that contributes a lot to the notoriety I have, because when I think about it, and if you look at actual album sales and things of that nature, I don't think I was half as successful as just my notoriety and my name is.
Right.
And I credit that to just being, the first really young teeny bopper rapper.
I mean, think about it, man. I mean, like, when I look back at the old videos and I look back at some of the things you did, man, you had true swagger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, before cats even really knew what was really happening, man, you was out front, man, leading the way. You know what I'm saying? And so, big shot.
That's that New York thing. That's that Bronx shit. I don't even, it wasn't called swag back then, but I think I was a young kid who the kids in my age bracket, maybe give or take a few years, they could all relate to. I stayed, as we say, fresh or fly as could be, fresh to death and all that back in the day.
Right.
I was a fly kid who was out there. It wasn't no cross colors and the colorful stuff, although some people bought into that. It wasn't really a gimmick with me. It was just regular day, everyday, fresh shit from the hood. So I think that drew a lot of people to me.
Right.
I looked like how you would look every day if you had a little bit of swag with you.
Yeah, no question about that. And whether you know it or not, I'm quite sure, man, there's a whole lot of youngsters out there that, you know what I'm saying, that might have came across you or seen one of your videos, you know what I'm saying, and wanted to try to emulate you, you know what I'm saying, and this is one of the reasons why, you know, we call you one of the originators, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, cats really just wasn't getting down like you was back then, you know what I mean? I mean, they can say it the way they want to say it, man, but shit, I was there. I understood what was happening, you know what I mean?
Absolutely not. That's a blessing, man.
No question. So when you was involved with that whole process, man, was you kind of writing your own music? Was you selecting your tracks? I mean, you know, give us a little insight, man, on how a lot of that, you know, kind of evolved into making you the person that you are, or that you became.
Well, back then, you know, Chris Lighty, he was signed to Violator Records, and he had put together the beat. The Beatnuts were a production duo who we linked up with, and they actually produced the bulk of the album.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the beats they basically gave to me. I don't know if Chris, I guess, was the executive producer. So between him and the Beatnuts, Hot Dog, who used to dance with Chubb Rock, he played a portion. Him and Chris were very close at the time. So they basically handpicked the beats for me themselves. And as far as the writing, I think my first album I wrote about 40% of.
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, I was young. When we were recording, I was 13, 14. So a lot of the stuff I didn't write. The portion I didn't write was written by between Fashion and the Beatnuts. Mr. Long from Black Sheep. Dresner wrote a little. Daylight helped with writing. Pfeiffer and Q-Tip Tribe may help. You know, the whole Nigga Son family, we was a unit. So most of them contributed to the writing, along with Hot Dog, and that may be it. Maybe one or two others. If I'm forgetting you,
right.
It's not. I'm not trying to slight you. It's just a memory gap. But that basically was the put together to, you know, help me put together that first album.
Right, no doubt. So I mean, I don't want you to call nobody out, but sometimes when you go into the studio or when you and a person is somewhere and y'all vibing together, man, you know, is anybody that kind of stands in your mind, man, like when they spit, you spit, you know what I'm saying, and y'all kind of like, you know, just an automatic vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I was young, so most of the native tongue I had been around, just from running around with Chris and Red Alert. So I looked up to all of them. So the vibe was always there with them. And back then it was different than it is now. It was like most of the rappers really embraced each other. It wasn't a beef, and I was 14, so no one had a beef with me.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of embraced each other. So I think the vibe was dope. Like, I don't have any bad feelings about anybody in the street that I can say. I mean, I can't speak for how a person may feel about me, but I was good with everybody.
Yeah, no question. And I've seen a couple of videos out there, you know what I'm saying, about, you know, you coming home and the way cats, you know what I'm saying, is feeling about when you coming home, whether or not you're going to be relevant to the things that you're doing today, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, of course, sometimes, you know, I hear a little disrespect or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I just take that was, you know, these cats just don't know, you know what I mean? But,
right.
You know, we know you went through what you went through, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we went up north, you know, man, you put yours in for the time that you did. You know, my question to you is, you know, how did you stay focused, man? How, you know, what did it take, man, for you to stay focused and also, you know, keep a relevant mind, you know, be able to keep it relevant to when you doing your thing, you know what I'm saying? Or when you was going to come back to do your thing is what I should say.
Well, when I was doing my time, I didn't really know or worry about if I was going to come back and do my thing. I always said, if the opportunity presents itself, just be ready.
Right.
But don't focus on it. And as far as doing the bid, it was like I had to basically kind of let go of the outside world and stay in my world in prison, because it wasn't like I had a year or two to do. I had a 14-year sentence, so I had to forget rap, forget music, forget the girls, forget everything in the free cipher, and focus on what lay ahead of me.
Right.
And that was a bid I had to do. So I had to basically get into jail mode. And I mean, that doesn't mean you get institutionalized, but you have to stay focused. Or at least for me, it worked for me to stay focused on staying safe on the inside and doing what I had to do to make sure I was okay on the inside, and forget about the outside world for right now, because when you got 10 years plus to do, that's not your reality right now. The outside world, although, you know, you still want to, you don't want to sever ties with loved ones and friends and family. They not there with you, and they can't do that time with you. So you have to buckle down and do what you got to do. Now, everyone does it different. Some people stay on the phone all day. You know, everybody does their time different.
Right. For
me, that's how it worked for me, just to forget about the outside world, focus on what you got to do in here and get through your bed, doing what you got to do to better yourself, so when you do come out, you have a few more options. And that's basically what I did.
Right. Right. So here's another question I got for you. You know, we all know this comes a time, you know, at some point, you know what I'm saying, you went to the board or whatever, and, you know, and you kind of knew, you know, man, you can see the light now. You know what I mean? You know,
right.
At that point, man, did you start kind of, you know, did your thinking or your transition in your thinking started changing, man, or as far as, you know, of course, you know, you're going to come home, you're going to do your thing with your family, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, did your thinking start changing toward the music? You know what I'm saying? And on what you might want to do when you want to come home?
Around the end of 07, 08, when you know, I was up north, but they moved me to Sing Sing. I was in jail. I was close to the city where you got New York City radio stations. I think that kind of got me more in tune with the music, and it was later in the bid. But I was away up north so long where you don't get any real rap stations or, you know, hip hop stations, that I was out of touch. But coming to Sing Sing, that kind of introduced me back into it, and, you know, you hear songs you like, and, you know, maybe rhyme over them. I think that's really what got me back into it around 08. That's when I really got the Sing Sing late 07, but 08 is when I really started changing my life. I got back in the sky. Went to school.